Hey guys, we are back on this front splitter. I know I didn't show you too much in the last one. I talked a lot trying to explain through what the whole process was for me, at least. So I'm going to bring you down here and show you. I've already started working and sanding on one side, so let's go down here. So you can see I've already started sanding, just 80 grit on one side. This is the rougher side that we haven't touched yet. The top smoothed out relatively good. I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, you're touching fiberglass, but I've touched it a lot. It doesn't really bother me. So we're going to go ahead and sand the other side like this. There is spots in here that are low. Like I said, this concaved area, the biggest thing we're trying not to do is that. I don't know if you guys can see that. I burnt through right on the corner. We're a little thin here. So what we're going to do is sand it down once with 80 grit, and then I'm going to go back over it with maybe another light coat of fiberglass over the front. I don't want to add any more to the top because I don't want that any thicker. We might just do a skim coat of resin over the top, and that way it is like filling in some of these small imperfections. We do have some fiberglass reinforced body filler that we're going to end up using for the first coat, and then the second coat we're going to end up using some glaze. I should be able to get it close with the reinforced body filler, and then all I'll need is a glaze coat over the top of it just to fill in some of the smaller imperfections. Then we'll go ahead and prime it, then we'll sand it again, and yeah, keep going that process. So I'm going to set you down here. Hopefully I get you on a stable surface that you're not going to fall over this time.
They fall over.
And then we'll go ahead and start sanding on this and getting it closer. So we'll end off this outfit change. Obviously I'm repping my rad rides here. We'll end off this clothes change with me putting another layer of resin over the top of it. And then we'll obviously be back to do more filler, and it's a long process. A lot of it is going and waiting and going and waiting and going and waiting. So the resin takes about 24 hours, it says, to completely set up. And so you put it on, you wait 24 hours. You sand on it, you put some more stuff on it, you wait. So that's body work. That's how it works. But I'm going to quit jibber jabbering and quit talking and get to work here. Okay, so a few hours of sanding later, we got her roughed in. I did break through in a couple spots.
You idiot!
We're going to have to throw some fiberglass over the top of those spots. There's some low spots. I might add a little bit of fiberglass into them just to strengthen it. But now we're going to go over this with resin. I'll take you down here and give you a quick peek of it right now. But we're going to go over it with resin and some more fiberglass in some spots. And yeah, get this thing set up so that we can sand it again. So take you down here and show you what we did. So as you can see, it's rough. We used 80 grit on it. There are some spots that are really low, but you're going to want to get those scratched up just so it bonds. This is my worst burn through spot, so we're gonna have to throw some fiberglass over that and then blend it off. Got one more spot over here I think I already showed you, but let's get some resin mixed up and start throwing some fiberglass here. Okay, so I'm not going to give you a good close-up of this, but I like to mix mine with a scale. So 14 ounces of the resin would be like 0.2 ounces of activator. That seems to be plenty hot. You can mix it hotter. I don't recommend going off of kind of what they recommend just because of I've actually seen fiberglass spontaneously combust and catch itself on fire. So you can mix it too hot, but this is kind of what I'm just going to do. So like I said, 14 ounces of the resin. Like I said, sorry it's not close. Hopefully you can hear me. And that's about 14. And then we will take our, I think I got a little bit left in here, yep. Take our activator or whatever you want to call it and just do our 0.2. That one's empty. So we'll move to this. One thing I did notice with fiberglass is I really like the way they have their resin, their activator for their resin set up. It's really nice. It's got a really nice cap. Take it over here to you guys. It's got a really nice cap on it. It's nice twist on. It's a child proof, so no kids can get into it. Some adults can't get into it, but they really do a good job with their activator. So we'll put a little bit more in there. Okay. So like I said, that was 0.2. Put our cap back on. And I just got a piece of aluminum here. I will get some rubber gloves on real quick. Like I said, I didn't show you a whole lot in the last episode. I'm sorry. I did a lot of talking. I'm going to try to do a little bit more talking while I'm working. Just kind of make it a little bit more enjoyable. I might edit some of this out. We'll see. See how the length is. Make sure you mix it thoroughly. And then I just use these cheap throwaway brushes. Some people glue them. Like I said, those are more of the guys that are doing like carbon where you're actually going to see carbon fiber work where you're actually going to see, you could see the bristles in the resin. This really doesn't matter too much because we're not too concerned about bristles in this because of, I mean, you're not even gonna see this piece. This is basically a throwaway piece. So it's crazy. You put a bunch of time into this and take a mold off of it, or make a mold off of it, and then most of the time you toss it in trash. We're gonna keep it because if I want to make some modifications to this and change some stuff on it, it's way easier to start with something that's already done, and we will, you know, make modifications to this and then pull another mold off. So we'll see. We'll hold on to it. But like I said, I want to wet it down, fill in some of these pinholes that I have. Just get it a little bit smoother than what it was. Now you can spray this on. I've seen people spray resin on. I choose to do it like this. Like I said, it's not a finished like carbon fiber piece. If we ever get into that, that's probably going to be more of a vacuum bag type of deal. Like I said, you can look up that more on that process more on other YouTube channels. I believe it's Street Bandito does a really good job. He did a full carbon fiber Datsun for SEMA this year. It was an EV build, which it has its perks and not bashing an EV, but I just like the sound of a good old combustion engine. Okay, so I got some looser fiberglass mesh here. This isn't the 1.5, but all I do is I pull it apart like this. That way it gives you like a little, it's stringy all over, and that makes it a little easier to blend in. So we'll go ahead and lay this over like so. That's that spot that we gotta connect again because I burnt through it, so. And I just chase that with some resin. Now I am going to use a little bit of my 1.5 on some of these other spots to fill in some of these holes. Not really holes, but just low spots. We're going to end up sanding a lot of this back off. But I really don't just want to fill it with resin. I'd like to give it a little bit more strength. So we're just going to do some small little patches in these holes, these low spots. I just wanted to put a little bit of stuff into them. And then we'll go back over that stuff with the resin. Like I said, that was just to fill in some of the lower spots that I really wanted some more fiberglass material in. So yeah, we'll do that. I think I'm going to do this pretty much this whole side over here. There's a little light on the actual fiberglass. But in this, you want to make it strong so it doesn't flex. So we do have fiberglass reinforced body filler that we're going to use for the first coat, but that's not as good as actual fiberglass and resin. Now I mixed a little bit too much resin, which it's fine. I'm okay with it. Kind of done with the resining part, at least on this part. Not sure if we're going to do the flares. I know the renderings show some flares on it. I'm not sure if we're going to do that or not. I'm starting to like the natural body lines of this. But we do have the lower part of the front splitter, and yeah, we'll just hold on to that resin. So take you down here and show you what we got. So like I said, mostly just coated it in resin. You can see the small spots where it needed some fill. My burn through area, so it's a lot laid down a lot better than the first time. So that should get us pretty close. And yeah. So we're gonna let this dry. Again, there'll be another outfit change. How this works. Do a little bit of work, let it dry. Do a little bit of work, let it dry. Luckily the body filler tends to not be this bad. So we will see you now. Okay, new day, new outfit. Got a little extra room in here. The car's sitting outside. It's actually decent enough to do that. So I left you guys off, which will be seconds before this. I was putting another layer in some low spots of fiberglass mesh or mat, and then some resin. Since then, we got her all filled in. She's all ready to go for first step of primer. Oh yeah, I still got to do that side. So I'm not going to bore you with that. My method right now, I'm starting off with 80 grit, stepping it down to 120 after I get filler put in. I'm starting off with this fiberlight, fiberglass infused resin, or fiberglass infused
Spit it out already, I'm busy.
body filler to fill in. I don't know if you can see this or not. It kind of goes in. That was just part of when I draped the felt over, or the fabric over the top of it, it just sunk in right there. So what we did on the other side was we filled that all in so it's nice and smooth from top to bottom. Yeah, so we'll hit it with the fiberglass infused body filler first. After we take it to 80 grit, we'll sand what we got on there down to 80 grit. Then we'll start with the fiberglass body filler and go over it with a coat of glaze. And then I expect to have to prime this, block it, probably prime it again, maybe put some more filler on it. Like I said, we're not really worried about how much filler we put on this piece because it's not the final piece. We'll be taking a mold off this and yeah, creating the final product. So starting to get warm out. Let's get rocking and rolling. Okay, so the first mistake I always see people do is use cardboard. Cardboard works in a pinch. I'm not a fan of it. Cardboard tends to soak up some of the natural, I don't know what you call it, the natural oils and stuff within the body filler. So you can get some inconsistencies on everything. Not that it's going to make a difference, but I tend to use a piece of plastic. So we'll scoop out a healthy amount because, like I said, there's going to be a lot in this, a lot of filler in this piece to help out with having filler, not having filler in the next piece. Yeah. So that's a healthy amount. We're going to take our hardener, and I don't normally have like a method to my madness on the hardener. You can mix it too hot and then you don't get time to play with it. I'd rather mix it a little bit colder, which means less filler or less hardener. But first thing I see people doing is this. They sit here and they mix it like this. That's okay for blending it, but what you're going to do is you're going to create air pockets in there. And then you're going to have a hard time getting those air pockets out. So instead of doing that, what you're going to do is I tend to scoop it up like this and then smush it back out. Scoop it up like this and then smush it out. What that's doing is that's pushing all the air pockets out of it. You're not creating any air pockets in it, which create pinholes in your finished filler. So yeah, and just sit here and fold the filler over and over again until the color is consistent. Every once in a while you want to scrape off your scraper, because then you'll get, see how there's a line of red there, that's the hardener. So then you grab it again and smoosh it out. I don't know if you can actually hear it, but you can actually hear it pushing air bubbles out. So that's the way I was trained. Like I said, I've seen people do it other ways. But like I said, I've seen way too many people just stir it. So that's where we're at. Okay, so there's just a skim coat of our fiberglass infused body filler. This corner is going to probably get another coat of our fiberglass infused filler. And then the entire thing will get a skim coat of our just glaze. It's just a simple, this is Z-Grip glaze. That's just a finer, it's a lot easier. You can see it down here. It's a lot easier to get that smoothed out. Like I said, that's like, that's primer ready. So we'll get this all sanded down, and then I will come back and show you that process, or where we're at after this is all cured and sanded. Okay, so this job is pretty repetitive. I'll take you down here. I put 2 coats of our fiberglass body filler, fiberglass.
Today, Junior?
Yeah, infused body filler. Sorry, mind fart here. But I put 2 coats on there. I got it pretty close. We're about ready for glaze on that side. And then once I get the glaze done and sand it out, I'm going to go ahead and put a fairly heavy coat of primer on. I'm probably going to end up rolling it on. And I will go through that process in the next episode. This is time consuming. It's going to take hours and hours and hours. It doesn't make for very good content. So next time you see that, it should be in primer. I'll do a little bit of videoing on me primering it. Like I said, I use a roller with a foam pad or with a foam roller. And yeah, just a lot easier than spraying it. A lot less mess. So like I said, this is all stepped off to 80 grit. We got our corner filled in here. We'll go back with some glaze and call that a night. So like always, come back, see the progress in the car. Starting to get warmer out. I just ordered some more parts. Got a lot of other things coming in. Prototype parts for our spoiler extensions. Yeah, come on back. We'll keep moving forward as the weather gets warmer. We'll see you guys.